Somebody has something to say. This is a Queen of Swords. All right. But she knows when to hold her tongue. And her tongue is sharp, right? It can either hurt or uplift, right? You may resonate with being someone who receives some sort of information, or you're very in tune with something, strong intuition, strong connectivity here. You may feel that you receive messages from higher consciousness potentially. All right, let's see here. Exciting. All right. Yeah, the star comes out officially. So I'm getting like you could be optimistic, hopeful, knowing that there's something greater out there, seeing things, you know, from a higher perspective, even like having this larger awareness. It's like, and being able to be confident in what you see, feel, hear, and know. It's like you having confidence in your abilities, you know, your uniqueness. Okay, so be proud of who you are, right? It took a lot for you to get where you're at, and this is you having the courage to take on like what you came here to take on. This is you persevering, overcoming, and staying true to you over anything else, regardless of like, you know, people wanting to challenge you because maybe they want to prevent your growth, your development. I feel like you've had to show them like your soul. It's a like a resilient spirit that you hold. And it's almost like maybe you appear very innocent, like, or there's something about you that like almost confuses people because they see you maybe here in this energy, like almost a bit of naive, but like deep down, like you're the lion. It's like they underestimate you. And I feel like it's on purpose. It's by design. Look at this. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you hold this light, okay? You hold this light. And, you know, a lion, it's like lions recognize lion, right? Like, look at this. Oh my gosh, I can't. The devil. Yeah, I feel like, you know, once people kind of cross the line here, right? You've definitely been up against it. Either this is like your own things to overcome and persevere through, or this can just be like your environment, like you're surrounded by a lot of like lower vibration energy. I feel like you've had to, maybe that's why you are where you are right now, because you're meant to like bring balance. Like you're the elixir. You're the elixir. You're the medicine. Yeah, look at Hermit. You're the, it's like you hold this wisdom and knowledge potentially, or this has been a path, a lonely path, maybe. One, it's like a solo journey or soul's journey, healing journey even. I feel like you tend to have to pull your energy away to maybe even replenish. But I feel like you're on this constant quest. All right, there's something that you're here to do. Everything you've experienced was to teach you, because the devil is also like a master teacher too. Maybe this soul's quest has something to do with you needing to overcome these types of things, regardless of the situations. It's almost like you had to stand on your own in all situations. And I feel like this was part of like a soul's plan. And I feel like this is like what's being put in action here. Okay. Four of Cups. There's been love lost along the way, or unfulfilled dreams. Maybe this like fulfillment was not truly fulfillment. Maybe it was an illusion of fulfillment, like promises, unkept promises, right? Maybe from those who, you know, can't quite fully commit to things. I feel like they can meet it up to their own comfort level, and then there's this abandonment that plays out. So there's a reflection of this for you in the sense of like, how have you not been vulnerable, available, or open? And are you attracting that into your life, or is this something that you've transmuted? So again, like, this can act as a teacher for you to realize that like your happiness doesn't depend on other people and how they feel about you. Your happiness comes from within. And so there was this like a redirection back to self. Okay, look at a master skill. Okay, and this was a path. This was a direction. This was a decision. This was something that you took inspired action on. And then I have the World card. So this is a bit of like what you don't see coming is that like you've manifested a whole new timeline for yourself, because what you've gained and learned is so amazing. King of Wands. Seven of Cups is blocking a blockage to the King of Wands is the Seven of Cups. So there's an energy here that, you know, is now feeling the loss of something, right? Some sort of like, you know, again, like self-soothing here, or not self-soothing, self-loathing here, right? A bit of feeling like nothing works out for me, right? And wanting to leave a situation and go to another for other options. Someone is, you know, wanting to make a different emotional investment elsewhere, but can't because of all the options or the trickery or the delusion of something. There's like this delusion of grandeur. King of Wands, okay? Someone's heavily in their pride and ego, thinking that like, you know, there's something there that they've got an eye on. It's a focus. It's an obsession. Six of Cups. So this could be someone that you've dealt with. This is definitely confirming it's someone that you've dealt with in the past. And I feel like you learned what you came here to learn from this contract. Okay? You have, there's this like initiation by fire here. I don't know if you can see that. Like one of the two was accepted the path and went on the path, made the choice, removed themselves from earthly matters so that they could align with their eternal fire. All right, so this was like, again, someone felt the loss of that. They were too busy dealing with earthly desires here, which is the Seven of Cups, right? And as a result, are not on this path as you are. So there's this separation going on. Two of Cups. Okay. And it was because there was someone who was looking outside of themselves and was kind of just feeding this illusion of self. I feel like it's contributed to the end, okay? There's like this finale, right? Eight of Wands. So this would be, you know, someone wanting to rush towards you, but I feel like there's, you know, the blockage is that like they're for everybody and you realize that they're not for you, right? Yeah. Judgment. Someone's facing judgment. Someone is dealing with is receiving karma at this time. Okay, so I feel like whatever was sent out, whatever was initiated, I feel like the energy is returning. Okay. So there very well could be someone who wants to rush towards you, maybe make amends here, apologies, half-ass apologies. I'm not really quite sure, but I feel like they're feeling rejected and left out. Okay, feeling like someone's no longer interested in them. So they're no longer interested in the situations that they find themselves in now because they're experiencing their karma. They want to come rushing towards you. I feel like there's a blockage here. Okay, and I feel like judgment is here and present. All right, let's get back into the advice when it comes to, and again, confirming somebody that you used to know, all right? Or they're feeling some sort of nostalgic towards you. I feel like maybe there's some sort of knowing that's been gained, some sort of like sense like extra sensory, like a download, an intuition hit, a feeling, sensing, knowing type thing, like an empathic, okay? I'm getting like, you may be very empathic. And I feel like they know this. I feel like they may see you as the one with the light on and feeling like they can come to you for that elixir, that medicine, that hope. Here's the thing. There's no hope here for them. That's the blockage. They're delusional to think that you are going to hold this light for them after what's been done. And you know it's been done. You know, like all of the things going on in the dark, right? That they gave zero shits about doing. But now they care because they find themselves in a difficult situation, potentially facing a dark night of the soul, all right? Or an ego death. I'm getting ego death. I feel like they may have to be outcasted in some way in order for there to be some sort of self-realization here about their pride, their ego, how they show up, the actions they take. I feel like there's messages going around, maybe about someone being left out in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like it has something to do with where someone's attention and energy goes is where things flow. And I feel like that is exactly it. Like there's rhythm playing out here. Yeah, and there's an ending. Okay. There's an ending here. What do we have here? 3 of Cups. There's a lot of maybe talk, group chat, messaging, gossip, like people getting together to discuss something. It could be about a group, or this is a group. Someone may no longer be part of the group or a group. So there could be that. Or this represents like family, coworkers. There could be trouble at work. I think it depends on your situation. Upright, the World card. There's completion here. There's a level up here. There's growth here. There's reaching a new level, a sense of accomplishment. I feel like people are talking about this, whatever this is. Okay, so if you've like removed yourself from people, places, and things, they're watching you from afar. And it's almost like they can't believe what they see, because this energy that you were battling was spinning a different story about you. And now they're the one in this energy. So were they really talking about themselves the whole time? When they were slandering your name? Or they were spewing lies? They were talking about themselves. They were telling on themselves. Wow. Because that's not your energy. That's not where your goals were going. You weren't trying to create any kind of demise for anybody. I feel like you rose above the situation and you took the high ground. I feel like someone went low and now they find themselves there. And that's what this Queen of Swords has to say, right? She was like the first card, right? Taking the high ground, seeing things from a higher perspective, okay? Going within for guidance, wisdom, and knowledge, instead of listening to these clowns, whoever they may represent, or having some sort of, you know, obsession over something, overindulgence, right? Always looking outside of oneself instead of going within. There might have been a transition here, right? Through a healing journey, perhaps, or you were made to go through this process, okay, to emerge on this spiritual path and journey of yours in whatever way that is. This can just be you being in your sovereign energy, you calling your power back. You're no longer allowing others to have any influence over you, what they say, what they do. You give zero shits. There's power in that, okay? You may have a platform, you may be in the communication field, you may be an air sign, you may be somebody who's very frank and blunt, and you tell it how it is. And you're ethical and you have integrity. And that speaks for itself. That is a character. Like, this is your true, authentic self, okay? Your character speaks for itself. All right, you're on a purpose, you have a mission, you're devoted, you're committed to where you're headed. And you're not looking back. All right, you're not looking back. They're in this situation because they deserve to be there. Okay, this is, you know, their own journey, self's journey, okay? The lessons that they need to learn are for them. And you're allowing this person to learn the lessons that they chose for themselves. Okay, you've learned yours, you've moved on, all right? This is like you graduating and you moved on and you're not looking back. And that's the advice. Let this person who made the decisions that they made to experience what they are meant to experience, okay? This is for their soul's growth and development. And I feel like you getting involved only adds more to the mix for you. Like, it's not going to help them. Like, they need to help them. All right, just remember that. When many of us on our channel here, you know, like, we're not looking to repeat past patterns. We've worked on that. Okay, I feel like there is a lot of obstacles here and challenges, and a tower here, also not part of your business. I feel like you have removed yourself from this cage. You've freed yourself. You've learned through what you needed to learn, like Wheel of Fortune. What I'm getting is, like, they're going through their own karmic cycle so that they too can awaken. All right, like, they weren't necessarily a part of your awakening process. A lot of times we do this, you know, in hermit mode. So I feel like there's that happening for them. All right, so this also is a catalyst for their awakenings, okay? So we don't want to get in the way of that. So let them experience their own lessons. That's how we learn. Let's get a couple more cards. Okay. I just got the 10 of Cups. 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, 7 of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like while they're experiencing being left out in the cold here, all right, feeling abandoned, grief, sadness, right, emotional baggage here, resisting change, going through a breakup, you know, this is, you know, even some financial ruin here. I feel like, you know, this is energy that they wished upon our channel, our members of our channel. And I feel like this is now their reality. And I'm getting like you've persevered and overcome and did the work to embrace your path on this awakening journey. And now you're here, right? Like you're at the star now. This represents like the healing journey and the process in which you have accepted yourself, right? You're like the unicorn now, right? You're no longer hiding, right? I feel like here is where they wanted you to stay, was to hide, be in the dark, be in the shadow. And I feel like, no, you're not meant to be in the back. It's like nobody puts baby in the corner, right? That's this, okay? And I feel like they're now feeling outcasted. You're experiencing the 10 of Cups, which is a storybook ending, okay? Beautiful energy. We have the 10 of Pentacles, a family legacy. We have the 3 of Cups, times to celebrate, worth fighting for with the 7 of Wands. And then we have a very decisive moment. Chance, life cycles, karma, destiny, expansion, it's time, fortune, change, and fate. Okay, so this is like fate and destiny playing out here, all right? So big things on the horizon, okay? So continue to celebrate your little, big, all the successes that you have in life. I'm feeling a bit tongue-tied, so I'm wondering, I feel like somebody may be waking up, okay? So, right, and maybe saying if they can go in a different direction, or is it too late? Or they're being prompted to go in a different direction. Maybe they're at a loss for words at this time, okay? So, interesting. King of Pentacles, King of Cups, 5 of Cups. Someone realized that, you know, maybe chasing, you know, the thrill of money wasn't what it was all cracked up to be. And they find themselves again in some sort of loss, despair, having to reminisce about past trauma, pain, as it relates to someone who they used to know. I feel like there's somebody new, someone who's going to help to paint the town red. Yeah, this is going to be life-changing, whatever this is, and that is justice. Someone's going to be dealing with learning some difficult spiritual lessons with a Queen of Wands. Okay? They violated spiritual law, and they're being held to account. They didn't make the best investments in whatever commitment this was. I feel like they married somebody for money. I feel like they married the wrong one because they are a traitor, and we can't build with traitors. And so someone left the scene. They picked up on all the player-like in and out energy manipulation going on. They deaded the situation and created a new beginning for themselves. They alchemized the experience, and as a result of taking inspired action towards what they're divinely guided to do, I feel like they created some sort of business, some sort of entrepreneurship. They called their power. They understand their worth and value, and they've used their experiences in life to build from, because it's stable, secure, and abundant. And no one can take away your own personal life experiences, okay? They can't steal it from you. It's something that you were destined to experience, okay? It was part of your path, everything you've experienced. It's like the first leg of the race and then the second leg of the race, all contributing to this growth and purpose. All of it served a purpose. And it was so that you finally understand your worth and value. And that's the whole deck. That was so fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. It's powerful. It's not the whole deck. It's a good half of the deck, right? I feel like you're making wiser investments. I feel like you've changed your tune as far as like, this is like embracing the new. I feel like this might have been an older version of you that you're now leaving behind. You might be like in between, like shedding skin, or someone feels that way. I feel like there's a bit of like needing to see something clearly because it's foggy. Wow. I don't know, y'all. King of Pentacles. Yeah, strong sense of self-worth, financial stability, hardworking, stable, secure, grounded. Like, come on, there's a new sheriff in town. I love that for us. Bye, y'all.